Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday. It's a beautiful day. It's about 7 in the morning here in my beautiful city of Miami. I wanted to show this Cuban oregano. Yesterday it was so wilted because the sun had been so hard to it. But I watered it and then it rained like crazy. There was a big storm last night. That's why there's such a mess everywhere. There's a big there was a big storm. And then look how beautiful she opened up. She looks so gorgeous. If anybody wants to go back to the last video, I believe. I think I called it F-bomb Saturday or something. I was really upset yesterday. But everything is growing beautifully. This cactus, I cut this leaf off yesterday because I'm trying to create a design with this cactus, or not create a design, but I'm not a very good, or at least I don't think I know about designing plants. I just know what I like, and what I try to do is keep them from being crowded. This cactus was very crowded, and now it seems like it's more opened and airy, if that is a good way to describe it. I don't know. This was all bent out because there was another leaf there that wasn't letting it grow. But this little piece that I cut yesterday, I actually planted. I planted it onto this little cactus right here. I put it into this planter where there was a plant that had died. It was an avocado tree that just didn't survive. And that's what I did. I planted it there. And of course I planted this yesterday. Just something that came into my head, so I thought I would do it. And now I have these three little plantings that I need to do something with. I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do, but I do have a lot of plants that just didn't make it. And what I want to do is I'm gonna take my bucket and I'm gonna get rid of some of these plants. Like this. This was some elephant ears that didn't survive. And this thing, I think I'm gonna throw these away. They looked good in the ground. And I wanted to save them from the guys that mow the lawn. But I guess their life cycle was very short. And this one, this is pretty much dead. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this plant, but this pretty much died. So I'm gonna remove it. I'm not sure what this was. And I'm getting rid of this too. You know what? Maybe I should plant something in here. Maybe I should put this in there. I don't know. I don't want to just start planting things like anywhere. Because I like to think of how they're going to grow. Everything is messy though because of the storm. There's so many leaves in there. I actually enjoy cleaning up after the storm because I just enjoy being in the garden. I need the serenity because there's so much crap going on in this world. It's like the plants don't even need water this morning because it rained so beautifully. But let's just get rid of some of this water that's in this, I don't know what this is called. This thing that lets you water everything. This plant has been so beautiful all along, and now it looks like it's dying. I guess its life cycle is coming to an end. These are my orchids. And of course, this cactus. This cactus is amazing. I've documented this cactus from the start. It was just one little piece of cactus, maybe about that big. That I put on top of some dirt to show how strong these things are and how fast they grow. And from that, it grew to 2 pieces of the sides. And it just started growing, and then eventually it was so big that I planted it in the ground. And then it was so heavy from growing that I had to separate it. And now look at what we have. Look at this beautiful cactus that I'm gonna have to split up because it's just too much. It's too much cactus for one plant, and I don't like my plants to be crowded. So pretty soon I'm gonna remove all the gravel, remove all the dirt, cut it in half, and make them into 2 separate plants. This plant here is dead. I gave it a lot of help and I gave it a lot of love. But sometimes things don't live for, whatever reason. I use these little cheap things because I love to reuse plastic things a few times so that it justifies their existence before they go into the landfill. I try to help my planet as much as I can. It gives me satisfaction to believe that I'm helping this rock that I live in, my home. Everything is nice and wet and watered. This aloe, however, and let me throw this away. Is at McDonald's. My wife is always buying McDonald's, you know? We're supposed to be eating healthy. She always sneaks McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's. I don't eat junk food. But anyway, she doesn't have diabetes, so I shouldn't complain about her. Anyway, look at this. This aloe plant is about to die. Completely. It's completely off. This thing, you know what? I could try to save it, but I'm not going to. It died. It is what it is. I'm just going to take these aloe and I'm going to use them to grow other plants. And this one's still alive, so we'll let that one do its thing. That's the survivor. And that's fine. But I am going to put it in a different pot. In a smaller pot. This pot I found on the street. And I'm going to use this pot to fix this, because I think that this avocado tree is dead. I really think it's dead, so I'm going to dig it out and clean it up. Maybe I'll do it today. I don't know. Who knows what I'm going to do. I feel better, though. Yesterday, I was like very, very manic. I was very upset. Today, I'm a little bit more relaxed. I didn't even clean my house yesterday, but I did clean it on Friday. I love to have my house organized because when I was a kid, I grew up in a house that was always very disorganized and dirty. So cleaning up it gives me serenity, it gives me peace. But when I'm all upset and angry, I don't do anything. I don't know what I'm going to do with these tomato plants. I really don't like growing tomatoes because there's such a commitment, you know? To tell you the truth, yes, it is important to grow tomatoes. And for those people out there that have the patience. But it's not patience, because I'm a very, very patient person. It's crazy how patient I am. But I'm just not into tomatoes. What am I going to do? Just not into them. I love this cactus that I rescued. And the San Pedro cactus that has given me so many gorgeous blooms. This is another tomato plant, see? And I'm not gonna just kill it because I love plants and I want it to grow. But they're just so much freaking... They take so long to give you some... to give you something, you know? And I've grown tomatoes. Trust me, I know how to grow tomatoes. Everything I put in the ground grows. It's just that... You know, everybody loves doing different things. And growing food is not my thing, I guess. I need to clean this plant up too. Plus, I've been feeling bummed out about getting older. and not feeling accomplished. I had such a great career. I was a union stagehand in New York City, and I actually the bosses always they kind of liked me because I was a good worker and I didn't complain, and I wasn't an alcoholic or a drug addict. And I got to work in very good, cool places like Radio City Music Hall and Regis and Catholic. And I would have had a full career in New York. But because of my wife and because of my mother-in-law, I gave up my career like a freaking idiot. And I have been depressed about it for the last 25 years. And it seems like I'm always bummed out about that. Even though I have my own business. I have a business that is growing. I've had it for 3 years. And, you know, I give people FBI background checks. I give people level 2 background checks. And it's the business of the future because everybody needs background checks nowadays for work. Everything from the medical industry to construction. And I'm very good at it, you know. Anybody can look up my reviews on Google. The name of my company is Secure Fingerprinting and Background Checks. And I take my job very seriously. I know I act silly on these videos because it's an outlet where I get to perform, because I studied theater and I studied improv and I performed improv for like 10 years on stage. And to me, there's nothing better than acting silly in front of people and making them laugh. I love to make people laugh. And even though I take my business very seriously and I love to help people because I'm good at it. If I wasn't good at it, I probably wouldn't be very happy in my business. But if there's something I can do, which is that, even though I love what I do, I'd rather be doing something different for me, you know. I wish I could be back in New York City as a stagehand in Local 1 IATSE. That is the best career I ever had in my life, the best job I ever had in my life. I miss it so much. So many people told me not to leave. But I was manic because I had an episode where I was hospitalized for my mental illness, bipolar disorder. And I had you know, my wife chose to bring us back to Miami, and I came with her, you know, I chose to come with her. And unfortunately, it destroyed my career, and it destroyed my happiness in my life. And I'm trying to recover now with this YouTube thing, because this YouTube thing is fun for me. I get to make videos and I get to be silly and act and perform. And one thing that I really, really am passionate about, I mean, yeah, I have a lot of interests and hobbies like collecting boots and doing woodworking and cars. But what I'm really passionate about is mental illness. Because I know how much I suffered with my mental illness and how horrible it was, and how I used to have suicidal thoughts. But it wasn't just like I had one or two a day. I had one right after the other. like every couple of seconds, it was a different way of me killing myself. And it was just because I was very miserable. And I have been very miserable. One of the reasons that I left New York was because my mother-in-law had a business called VRT Provisions in Hallandale Beach. And, she said that I could come work with her. And eventually, her being the mother of my wife, I figured, I can take over the business when she's done, buy it from her, because somebody has to take over the business. Well, my wife's mother really didn't care. She didn't even let me work a day in the business. Actually, no, there was one day where I worked because she had a problem and she needed somebody to come help. And I did. And what's funny is I was used to making, back in the late 90s, 25, 35, 50, 70, $100 an hour and more, because I was working with a union, IATSE Local 1. IATSE stands for International Alliance of Theatrical Stagehands. And I used to make very, very, very good money. My wife actually has a master's degree and a bachelor's degree. And I would have made a lot more money than she did. A lot more money. And enjoyed my work, because it was beautiful. I worked with very famous people. Everybody that was famous came through Regis and Kathy Lee, Regis and Kelly, Radio City Music Hall. I remember being at the VMAs one time, and it was full of every famous person in the world. And I wanted to take a break at Radio City Music Hall, so I went downstairs to try to find an empty place to relax, because I couldn't go outside, because there was literally a billion fans of every artist outside. This was the year that Eminem got his award for Please Stand Up, and it was the year that I forget the name of this very talented black rapper, but he does more than rap. He's in the film industry now. I think he did that song, Get Out the Way, Move, Bitch. I forget his name. I like him. He's a talented dude. Very entertaining. So I went downstairs and I went into the bathroom, one of the bathrooms at Radio City Music Hall, and I thought it was going to be empty. It was full of every famous person in the world. And I grabbed a seat in this one of the couches they had down there, and Jack Black was playing his guitar down there, and it was cool because I got to see that. And that's the kind of stuff that I experienced, working in IATSE Local Number 1. There was a few dark times. There was a lot of dark times because when I first started working there, but what a mistake that was. It's like I feel like there was nobody ever looking out to try to help me get ahead, and I was like basically a tool that helped a lot of people get ahead. Like my wife and my family. But now I know how important my sanity is and how important it is for me to be happy. So I've cut all ties to my real family because all they do is ask for stuff, and they never give. My brothers, my sister especially, and my mom. So I'm 55 years old, and my body doesn't work as well as it used to, and I'm really not where I wish I was in life. But I'm making the best of it. I'm enjoying my Toyotas. I love my plants. I love making YouTube videos. And I love telling everybody how important they are. And I love to tell people to forgive themselves for the dumb things that they have done, because we've all done dumb things. And to make sure that you are respected. Don't let anybody disrespect you, because your life is very important. And there's a lot of narcissistic people out there that we are come in contact with that want to belittle our existence to help theirs. And we don't need to put up with that. We need to realize that we are important and we are cool and we only get one life. So enjoy it. Enjoy what you do. If I could go back, the only thing I would do is make love every night to the beautiful people that I love. And by making love, I mean have sex with beautiful people. Because I really enjoyed having sex. And I really love to study. I love to learn and study. So that's what I'm going to do in my next life. I'm going to have sex. I'm going to study all the time. And I'm going to listen to awesome music and enjoy the arts. As far as theater, as far as all that stuff. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Thank you for allowing me this journey to grow in this business of YouTube, because it's really cool. I enjoy making these videos and I love to talk. And have a wonderful day, everybody.